Hi everyone, welcome to the album Decode with Phil, and today we're going to be decoding some albums, which is one of my favorite things to do. As you can see in the background, this is my first episode, and if you guys have anything that you think I need to add, some new records I need to get, a difference in the background, suggestions, please feel free to tell me. I'm going to just start off with, I'm a big Nirvana fan for rock, and even though we're going to be mostly reviewing hip-hop albums and dissecting them and figuring out their meaning, going deeper into the artist, really, we're getting deep here with Phil. We're getting deep, and that's what we're doing here with the albums. And so far we got a rare Nirvana, one of Kurt Cobain's. His face is called Insecticide 2. No Needle and the Damage Done. We got a Hip Pac. Migos' New Culture album. Gold plated. I haven't even opened it yet. Life of Pablo. Shit from Sweden. These aren't even supposed to be circulating. Kanye was pissed about it. Gotta Have the Chronic. Country Grammar, one of the most underrated iconic albums of all time. Also my first ever hip hop album. Party Next Door 3, which I think is an underrated R&B album. We can get into that maybe one day if we want to revisit it. Starboy by The Weeknd, which is exceptionally good for being an R&B artist at the time. Threw in a little Nirvana, the In Utero 2013 remix. Of course, LilUziVert, which we're going to be talking about today. And Views by Drake. If there's any other records you guys would like me to add to the background, let me know, and I'll purchase one and get it sent to my house. But today we're going to be talking about Love Is Rage 2. And until I figure out on YouTube how to put a little picture of Love Is Rage 2 by me, I'll do that. But I will give you guys some listens on the songs and what I'd like to talk about. Okay, I just started up playing the first song 2 on my phone. The thing about Love Is Rage 2 is it's an interesting album. It's interesting because he built up such hype for this album, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really excited for it myself. And now, first listen, I couldn't really tell how I felt about it. And I feel like the reason for this, and this is where I write in my notes here, is that I feel like this could have been an A+ album. Especially about some of the bold statements Uzi's saying about re-innovating the hip-hop industry. And I just really want to talk about the track selection. The track selection, and he admits it in his interview. I can't think of the guy's name right now. I think it was Zane Lowe. And in the interview, he said it took him like a minute to do his track listing. And as much as I love Uzi, and as much as I feel like he's confident picking his track listing, his track selection is just noticeably weird or inconsistent. He's the type of rapper where when he raps, his flow is the only reason why he gets the popularity he gets. And he has this really unique type of repetitive flow. Not so cringy like Lil Pump, but right in the perfect middle to where he pulls off this Rockstar persona. And I feel like if he would have took more time on his track selection, the album would sound smoother. And just for an update, I did see Lil Uzi perform last week in Chicago with Playboi Carti. Played really good, great show. You know, he's a showstopper. That's another thing I like to say about Lil Uzi is that if you see him perform, he creates a spectacle. And the only musician I can think of that did that in history would be Jim Morrison from The Doors, who he's been out since the 60s and 70s. And the reason why the Doors were so popular is because Jim Morrison created such a spectacle during his performance. That's why people went to go see him. And Uzi's doing the same thing. I'd also like to relate, and I know this is a bold statement here, especially for me, a diehard Nirvana fan. But here's the thing. EXO Tour Life is almost, the keyword almost here, not the same, is almost like Smells Like Teen Spirit. The reason why is the replay value on it. Like, and here's an example I like to put out. Despacito, that song, when it came out initially, it was huge. It's on the radio every day. It probably still is. And I just got sick of hearing that song. I can't stand the song now anymore. We can even go Black Beatles with Ray Strumman. Huge song. I got sick of it real quick. But there's something about EXO Tour Life, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what the formula is. Sorry guys, didn't mean to do that. And I'm not sure what the formula is in this song, or how it, but like, just like Smells Like Teen Spirit and EXO Tour Life, they're comparable because they can be replayed, and your mind doesn't get sick of it. And I was telling my best friend this right before we went to the concert. Then we went to the concert, and he played EXO Tour Life back to back. And the second time he played it, I think was more hyped than the first time. So, I think there's a lot to say in Lil Uzi's accomplishments with EXO Tour Life. It really is it's a powerful single. It's already 4 times platinum. And it may still be on the Billboard's top 10. Last time I checked. To be honest with you, I'm going to check right now because we're doing decoding, and I have the means to check, so why not? You guys just hang in there with me. When you come here to chill out, you know, good vibes. We're just talking about an album, Lil Uzi. Next week I may do Young Dolph, or I might do the new Super Slimy with Thugga and Future. But I just want to see, out of curiosity, who's on the top charts right now. Because Super Slimy came out and he could have knocked him out for the week, maybe. And let's just talk top charts real quick. Not to get off the total subject of Lil Uzi, but I'm looking at the top charts here, and I think it's really interesting that Post Malone, his Fall Apart single, I heard like last winter, and I mean, I like the song, and it's kind of heart-wrenching, but I just think it's interesting. It's number 4 right now. It's been released for quite some time. I guess that just goes to show, I don't know, it's how people piggyback off things. So I'm looking here. I'm really disappointed to see that number 6 right now is Gucci Gang by Lil Pump. Now, I'm as open-minded as you can get for artists. We're talking LilUziVert here. But, and I'll even give a pass on Trippie Redd. We'll even do a Trippie Redd album. And the only way I'll ever do a Lil Pump album is just to say how freaking horrible it is. Unless he just somehow comes out with a good one. I mean, I'm open-minded, but I can't stand him. Lil Pump is someone who's trying to piggyback, and this is good that we're talking about this now, because we're talking about LilUziVert. He's a rapper that is clearly piggybacking and copying off Lil Uzi Vert's style, flow, and a little bit, you know, Lil Uzi will use a little bit of repetitiveness in his songs, and it hypes the song up. Just kind of like Look at Me with XXXTentacion. But Lil Pump, he does it so fucking much that it literally, to me, sounds like nails on a chalkboard. I think if you put Lil Pump in high regard, you shouldn't even be talking about music. And the only reason why Lil Pump is up on charts is the same stupid reason when you see Katy Perry. She comes out with some shit song that's easy to remember, and somehow she gets on the top charts because she's hot. Lil Pump, he's following the trend, but I guarantee he will burn out. I guarantee Lil Pump will burn out. It's just like when Crunk came out. he's just like one of the other crunk guys. He's gonna die. LilUziVert though is marketing himself as something else, and this is what may keep him relevant. Is that he's claiming to be a rock star, and rock stars can always live on forever. It's gonna be an interesting ride to see how LilUziVert turns out, because I'm not really sure myself. It's hard to predict his career. As I'm going here, I'm going through here. So clearly EXO Tour Life has been knocked out. And that's okay. But if you look up The Way Life Goes, that's on the top 20 right now. So he's already got another hit on the top 20, that's pretty high. Way Life Goes. Right here. It's a great, and here's the thing I've noticed about LilUziVert. To let you in on this. When he does, these slower songs, it's not they're not slow, but if you listen to them compared to his other songs, like Sauce It Up, or For Real, they're good songs, they're okay songs, but they didn't make it to the top 20, and here's the reason. For some reason, The Way Life Goes made it, and EXO Tour Life, and here's what differentiates between the rest of those tracks and this. You'll notice, right here in this chorus, life to live, he's going slower. It's like his beats per minute, or his flow slows down. And he does the same with EXO Tour Life. Slows it down a little, just a tad. And when he slows it down just a tad, he makes a hit. And when he slows it down again with a tad, he makes a hit. And I've noticed that with all his songs, even on mixtape songs. Usually the ones that are a little slower are better. Sometimes he can come up with a fast one that's dope. But I've noticed that when the beat is a little more mellow, he produces a more valuable track, especially when you look at the charts. The charts don't lie. You go on anything, on your Spotify account, on your Apple Music account, on your Tidal. I support all streaming services, because I think they're a great idea. And I used to download music crazy all the time, but for $10 a month you have access to every song that existed. I don't understand why you wouldn't do anything but stream music nowadays. It's really taken over everything. I haven't even seen any of these new artists put any CDs in stores. They don't need them. CDs are dead. Vinyls are back, which is rare that you ever see something like that happen in history. But vinyls are back because you own part of the artwork. It's like a piece of art. It's a big thing. It's for the fan. But CDs, they're shit, and they're not selling because streaming killed the CD. And I'm going to say that right now. Streaming killed the CD. I don't know why no one has ever said it yet, but it did. CDs are dead. Vinyl are still alive, and I think they will still be alive for quite some time when you have artists like Jack White, and you even have artists like Migos coming out with vinyls. Got the LilUziVert, which one is this here? LilUziVert vs. the World. Right here. It's dope. Anyway, I'm going over my notes right here. I always take some notes, because we're talking about Love is Rage 2, right? So let's go back to Love is Rage 2. I did compare EXO Tour Life to Smells Like Teen Spirit. I still do. I think it just has the same replay value. I'm not saying it's the same. If you look up the stats on Smells Like Teen Spirit, I think it even beat out Elvis on plays. So that was huge. But if there's anyone, I think, out right now that it's pushing kind of the limits, or is kind of Kurt Cobain-ish by any means, it's not fucking Justin Bieber, it's LilUziVert. And I also think it's particularly interesting his admiration for Marilyn Manson. Everyone has their own idol. Everyone, idols they look up to. And I think that's interesting. If they ever come up with a punk or a tour together, that would be really cool and interesting. He's currently on his 1629 tour, Even though on his Twitter he said he wasn't going to do it anymore, they're selling tickets. So I think he was just fucking with everyone, which he does like to do that. It helps sales. And the reason why it helps sales is that all publicity is good publicity, even negative, because you're always getting attention. People are still talking about you. As long as people are talking about you, you stay relevant. And I want to just say this, fuck Joe Budden. He sucks. I don't know why they let his cranky ass even interview new rappers. I don't understand why he's so salty, because his only hit song was Pump It Up, and that's not even a rap song. Like, dude, that's the only hit he came out with. Hey, that wasn't a good hip hop song at that time. So I don't know why I think because he thinks he can be lyrical, which he can, but his songs suck. Their beats suck. He was an artist that was in the wrong place at the wrong time for too long, and he puts a lot of negativity out there. And I think he should just be out of a fucking job. And I don't say that about really any artist besides him or Lil Pump. I just hate his negativity on the new wave of rappers, because he's just categorizing them and like all the same, and that's just a big form of ignorance when you lump everything into one category. So fuck Joe Budden. I hope he hears this. Fuck you. And you don't know shit about music. I even watched when he had an argument on Love Is Rage 2, and you could look this up, Joe Budden, and I forgot who the man's name was defending Love Is Rage 2. Forgive me for that, it's nothing personal, I just forgot. And here's the thing, I agreed with what the guy said. I would give this album, I'd give it a B or a B plus. Could have been A plus if you would have did this track selection. And here's where it gets choppy. Here's how the track selection gets choppy. I'm gonna look at the whole album right here, and it doesn't take much. The album's good. I even like the he's doing the Off-White collab. And if you don't know what Off-White is, it's a new fashion design, clothing line that's coming out by V-Lone, and LilUziVert has been helping promote that. That's why the Off-White tape is on his cover. It's like it's smart. It's like when you see two brands cross together, like say Supreme and Louis Vuitton or something. He kind of did that with his album cover, which is cool. Now I'm looking through the album, and we got two. And two's interesting because, when you go to Rap Genius and they talk about what 2 is, they say it's how LilUziVert, how he's just saying how he has money and power now in the music industry. And then he also explains in the song how SoundCloud rappers are biting his style and stealing his cadence and to attempt to ride the way for fame. A Lil Pump, clear example of someone like that. aka Lil Fuck. The song also talks about how people should be thanking him for innovating the hip-hop industry, because he feels like a lot of people wouldn't be popping right now if it wasn't for him and his crazy style. Which is correct with these new little rappers like the Trippie Redd, Lil Pump, all Famous Dex. But all those guys suck. They try to be like him, but they're just gonna fade. They might have the money, for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. But 20 years from now, no one's going to be talking or even remember who the fuck those other dudes are. LilUziVert, though, he's on the speed of just being propelled really fast. So he's like a shooting star right now, which is a good thing. But he just has to remain the momentum, which I think he can. I think he's smart enough to do that. Another thing I would like to talk about, the 1629 tour with Cardi. It's become noticeable when I've gone to shows and other things that, if you listen to LilUziVert and you're a fan, you're obviously kind of a fan of Playboi Carti. But when you listen to Cardi, and I'm pretty sure Uzi knows this himself, is that if it wasn't for LilUziVert, Cardi wouldn't be that famous. And indirectly, Uzi may be even referring to his friend too, as he wouldn't be shit if Uzi wasn't getting this shit popping right now, because Cardi's style is inconsistent. It can be hot or it can be real weak. And Uzi knows that. And Uzi knows if it wasn't for him, and it wasn't for the 1629 tour, Cardi wouldn't be getting the publicity he would be getting. He's basically riding Uzi's way. I don't really want to say that. I went to one of Cardi's concerts by himself, low-key. It was hot. But I don't know if he's got the same momentum Lil Uzi has. So, like I was saying before, we're looking through the tracks. And the tracks that I feel that either shouldn't have been on the album, or should have been ordered differently, or maybe should have been thrown on the deluxe, and the ones he's going to put on he's making a deluxe album in November with 4 extra tracks. And we're going to revisit this album when the deluxe comes out, and we're going to talk about those 4 extra tracks, and whether or not he should have switched them out. Because here's the songs, and please tell me in the comment section if you disagree. So, Feelings Mutual, it's passable, but here's a couple songs that I really don't feel like fit. Neon Guts. It just came out. It's not a song, like, okay, I went to the Lil Uzi concert last week. The song that they put on to basically say the show's over is this song. So, they know it's kind of a dud. And you don't expect it to be a dud because it has the best animation on his vlog like animations for all the songs. It had the best animation for music video. But the song sucks. Kinda. It doesn't suck, but the flow doesn't match the rest of the album. It's way too slow. Like, way slow. And they're just kind of like flip-flopping. And it's just, you would expect a better song for a Pharrell feature. And I feel like he just threw the song on there because it was a Pharrell feature. It's alright. Another song that I don't understand that's on there, and I love The Weeknd, is Unfazed. It just sounds like a Weeknd song. Like, it just sounds like he just threw a Weeknd song on his album, or The Weeknd gifted him a song. Like, here you go, have this, and just throw a little bit of stuff on it. Lil Uzi doesn't really go on the song much, and it sounds just like a song that's just all The Weeknd. I feel like he was trying to do something similar with when Drake on Take Care, he came out with that song with The Weeknd on his Take Care album, and it was hot. I'm trying to remember the track. Can't remember right now. Sorry about that. But if you look up Take Care and the Weeknd song with Drake, I feel like that's what he's trying to do. But it was just too much of The Weeknd that it just sounded like it should have been on extra bonus track on Starboy than on Uzi's main album. And it just kind of interrupts both songs, Neon Guts and Unfazed, kind of interrupts the album. Like, it's almost like you should have put a skit in instead, and I hate skits on albums sometimes. And those two, and then also How to Talk, I think is a complete dud. I didn't like it. I don't even think you should have put it on the album. Here's the thing, like, it sounds like it's gonna be good, like, 'cause you got the girl calling you on the phone in the beginning, and he's expressing, like, how she should be talking to me. I get it, but it just didn't turn out as good as I think he thought up. I think that happens a lot with creativity, though, especially early on in your career. Sometimes things sound better when you think about it, and then when you manifest them, it doesn't turn out as you thought it would, like baking a cake or something. X I thought was good. I liked it. Malfunction, whatever. That's another one I think could have been off the album. Dark Queen, Now, that's a song that I think is very underrated and that no one's talking about, and I feel like it should be on higher chart lists. I love the beat of Dark Queen. I think it's awesome. I think maybe the only reason why it's not popular is because of the lyrics are just about his mom, but I just think it's a really cool. I think it's a really cool song. I really like listening to the beat of that. You know, maybe he could have did a different content on the song, but you know, it was for his mom. So I mean, what can I say? But I love the beat of it. Let me turn off Neon God right here. Like and now here, this is where I'd like to say, and turn it down a little bit. Now when Uzi was having that interview about his album, and I think it was with Zane Lowe, I believe that's his name. I just don't feel like checking right now. He had that interview with him, and he was like, you know, he also had the Cobain glasses on. That's another thing. A lot of rappers are trying to rock the Cobain glasses without saying it originated from Cobain. Like, I guess, like, not a lot of these young kids know that those glasses, Cobain started those. You know, the white, like, you know, kind of Adam Ant looking, you know, glasses. But, you know, Uzi said, you know, can you hear the grunge in the album? And, you know, grunge, he's trying to say that, you know, grunge was what genre Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Pearl Jam, Screaming Trees, Soundgarden, Dinosaur Jr., the Melvins, they were grunge in the 90s. You know, the flannels, greasy hair, you know, not greasy like the 80s, but like, you know, just not giving up shit, you know, got the holes in the jeans, 90s style. And because that 90s style is reiterating, it's recycling in 2017. It's back. Everyone wants to wear all the stuff that I feel like, you know, they couldn't afford when they were kids, but now they can, and now they can wear it. So I think might be a reason why 90s style is kind of coming back, and why grunge is resurfacing, but in a different form. I really think Kurt Cobain would find that really interesting, especially Lil Uzi interesting, because of him trying to blend hip-hop and grunge. I think that's cool. Yeah, of course he's not Kendrick Lamar. That's not his style, but he's not trying to be like him. He created his own style, and that's why I give Uzi props. And it doesn't sound like shit. It's good. It's pretty good music. It's head-bobbing good stuff. He picks really awesome beats. He's got a flow that it sounds like he's an Uzi, like pop up, and then like he incorporates his own. He starts new trends or dance moves or styles. You know, I like that he challenges that. That's what Kurt Cobain used to do. You know, challenge social norms, especially when I think it was the award, was it the MTV Awards, or he was wearing that shirt. It was a female shirt, but you know, it's just a silk button down, and he said, you know, you just can't feel these fabrics. And that's what he's just trying. Once you have that type of money, you can do whatever you want. And I really think it's cool that he's doing all the right things. He's collaborating with fashion designers like Off-White. He's collaborating with a lot of musicians, Playboi Carti, Wiz Khalifa, Future, Offset, the Migos. He's featured on a lot of people's stuff because he's good. He can hold his own. The only thing I think about Lil Uzi that maybe he needs to do differently is, I guess, just spend a little more time on a track list, because he could really make an A+ album. And I think he could have made this album A+, and he kind of missed the shot. But then again, he didn't. Like, if you look at anyone's freshman album, if they're a really good artist, their sophomore album will be 100 times better. You look at any person that's so relevant, and if you look at their sophomore album, it's always one of the best albums they've come up with. And I mean, that's arguable. Of course. This is just my perspective. But I really like Love Is Rage 2. I like what I had to say about LilUziVert. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'm going to give the album a final grade of a B+. We will revisit this album when the deluxe comes out, and based on your questions and comments, I can go a little deeper into them. If you really want to dissect the album a little more, some of the... I don't want to get into, at least with this album, of what LilUziVert is trying to say, because with any song you can have multiple, perceptions of what's something trying to say. It's like a work of art. When you see a painting, put 100 people in front of the painting. Each person's probably going to give you a different opinion on the painting. So, do I think this album was a good album? Yeah. Do I think he put some grunge in it? I think he did. Especially EXO Tour Life. It's a little dark, Push Me to the Edge. All My Friends Are Dead. It's definitely an album that's refreshing because it's something different, and it's just like, it reminds me of when Nirvana kicked out basically Guns N' Roses. I mean, they made Guns N' Roses look like dumb, and I feel like Lil Uzi's doing that with a lot of rappers. Some of the tracks I want to say that were underrated, and I think that should be listened to more. No Sleep Leak, I think, is an awesome song, and I don't know why it's not more on the charts. I love the flow. I love everything about it. I think it's almost just as good as Sauce It Up. But here's another thing, like I said before, track selection. He shouldn't have put this song right after Sauce It Up. They're both hype songs. So that when he puts them together, it gives like a magnet effect of putting two negatives together, two positives together. He should have put this song down more where 12, 13, and 14 are. Because when you go to 12, 13, and 14, which is How to Talk, X, and Malfunction, it's a streak of dud songs. And that's why the album isn't an A. Because there's a streak of dud songs. He made an error in the track selection, whether he thinks so or not. How to Talk, X, and Malfunction aren't very good. He should have mixed it up more, or he should have loaded. He should have mixed it up more, or he should have loaded them differently. He should have put No Sleep Leak a little more down. He could have put Feelings Mutual as number 7. He could have made it number 2. 444 plus 222. He could have put more on the bottom. He should have put Dark Queen up more. And I think the only thing he really did correctly on track selection was making EXO Tour Life the last song. Because by doing that, it kind of forces you to listen to the whole album. I look forward to reviewing his deluxe album. I'm gonna... actually, I can't make his Michigan show. I wanted to make his Michigan show, but I have a class that day. I can't make it. I did go to a Chicago show, and it was turned up. It was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I had a great time. It was a blast. If you go online, he had a better performance in Chicago than at the Rolling Loud Festival in Cali, which I didn't. I would never have thought that. So this is the album decode with Phil, and I just decoded Love Is Rage 2. And if you have any more questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comments section. We're going to be continuing this, and today's the first episode, and I'm really excited that today's the first episode. I got to give a big thanks to Gary Vaynerchuk. He's somebody that's really propelled me to just start doing things I love, and one of those things is talking about music. So let's get this conversation going, huh? Alright, I'm Phil. I'll see you next time. So we're either going to do Young Dolph next time, or we're going to do the new Super Slimy. In the future, once I start getting some more followers, Um, you guys give me some suggestions for albums to review, and I'll look into it, and I'll review the album. It doesn't have to be hip hop. I'm just doing new albums, and it just so happens hip hop is where I see most talent right now. The only rock bands that are really, I've noticed, Queens of the Stone Age's new album was really good, and Cage the Elephant's new album was good. So was the Foo Fighters' new album, surprisingly, was way better than Sonic Highways, but that's for another show. This was the album Decode, so have a great day. Bye.